Hello and welcome back to Lord Fenton Gaming's Don't Panic series. I'm your host, Lord Fenton. In today's Don't Panic series, we're going to talk about Might Magic 7 for Blood and Honor. Now, this game was released in 1999 by the publishers 3O, and the developers was New World Computing. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and do not forget to hit the notification bell to be updating more. So you're wondering, I'm getting mauled by goblins. I do not know what to do. I'm trying to mix these potions up. Instead, they blow up in my face right here. And what is Arcomage, and how am I going to survive in this game? Well, guess what? Help is on the way. With this video guide right here, it should help you out. So here it is. Let's talk about the changes between Might Magic 6 and Might Magic 7. First change, obviously, skills are 4 tiers: Grandmaster, Master, Expert, and Normal. So that's very good. Second of all, better class balance system. Yeah. In the last game, magic was more powerful. This time it's much more balanced right here. So let's talk about the third and fourth. Third is races and more classes. There are 4 races instead of humans and 9 classes, which is really cool. And another thing is number 4 is class promotions. There are a total of 3 promotions. The last promotion has to deal with light and dark sides. So that's really good. Now, next up is classes have their own skills. In other words, they'll have their own set of skills right here. So, for instance, everybody cannot shoot bows and arrows no more, and everybody cannot use magic. Well, except for knights, they cannot use magic, but still they have their own. And the starting area is the point of no return. Once you leave it, that's it. You cannot come back. Now, our next set is Alchemy is now a skill. Yeah. No more everybody making those black potions and getting away with this game and cheesing it. Nope. And number 8, you can steal from shops, and if you get caught, you will get banned from shops, which is very cool. So be careful being a thief in this game, please. Now, number 9 is light and dark magic story choice. We'll get to that later on. Number 10 is the Arcomage card game that's been introduced. It's a wonderful card game you could do on the side. And finally, or can make items from weapons, armor, and items and more. And that's it for the changes in this game right here. So in all this right here, there's the difference between Might Magic 6 and 7, which is really good. And yeah, those differences are great. Even Arcomage, which was new, and the class balance is wonderful. So don't panic about that, please. Let's talk about character creation next. So let's get to the very first section right here. Create your own party. When you start out, you're going, okay, there are a total of 4 races. I do not know what class and race I should have and what skills should I have available. Well, guess what? I'm going to help you all out. Now, you can also change their portrait and their voices, which is really cool. Now, first off, our goblins, they are very strong and quick. We'll give more of that stat bonus and penalties later on, which is very neat in this game right here. So yeah, they're more like a frontline fighters. Now, next up is humans. They are like your average characters. There's no pros and cons on them. When you create a class, they almost fit very well for any situation, which is really good if you want to go that route, or if you like playing like it's Might Magic 6 again. Now, next up is dwarves right here. They are more, I believe, in might and endurance. Also, they do tend to make great clerics too. Now, elves right here, they're more of the arcane caster types, like for instance, sorcerers. They're wonderful sorcerers. So let's get going on the 4 races right here, pros and cons. Now, humans, no stat change at all, which is wonderful right here. Goblins, on the other hand, they have a plus in might and speed. However, their intelligence and personality does take a hit. My advice on goblin, fighter types, humans, anybody else. Now let's go with the last 2 races here, plus and minus on them. Dwarves, plus and minus on might and endurance. However, their accuracy and speed does take a hit. They make good fighters. However, they do make better clerics. As I said before, elves are intelligence and accuracy plus. However, might and endurance does take a hit. They're great arcane casters like sorcerers. Now, next up for this section right here is the stats section right here. There's a total of 7 stats in the Might Magic 7 game right here for might, intellect, personality, endurance, accuracy, speed, and luck. The right stats for the right class can make a huge difference. So let's go over each and every one of them right now really quick. Now, our first one up we're going to be talking about right here is might. the stronger your character is in the might category, the more you can hit harder. Great for melee classes such as knights right here. Next up is intellect right here. Understands reasoning and complex. Also gives spell points right here. For instance, sorcerers. They have great intellect. Personality, on the other hand, in the spectrum right here is charm and also strength of will. Clerics, for instance, should have personality. That's very important for them. Now, endurance right here, higher endurance, more hit points you have right here, which is really good. Great for frontline fighters such as, I say, knights and paladins, for instance. Accuracy right here, more points in accuracy, more you can hit your foes right here. A high accuracy character right here will hit the monsters more often, which is very good. Now, speed on the other hand is quicker your character is, more turns they have. So high speed means it's high chances your turn will be up more often than such. Now, last but not least is luck right here. That's resisting magical attacks and avoid taking much damage as you can. If you have high luck, low luck, you're not going to resist much. So let's get to the next section, the classes. Now we have gone over the stats right here. Let's go over the classes and why you should pick them. First off is the knights right here. They can almost equip any weapons and armor. They're great frontline fighters. However, they cannot cast magic and they have the most hit points in the party. Next up is paladins, cross between a knight and a cleric. They can use mind and body magic, and then later on when you choose your choice, light or dark. Now, next up is the rangers, a cross between knights and druids. They can cast cleric spells and elemental spells. However, they cannot cast light and dark magic. Clerics, on the other hand, could cast mind, body, and spirit magic, and later on light or dark. They're powerful healers and buffers, and they tend to take out the undead very well. Druids, on the other hand, could cast cleric spells and sorcerer spells, which is elemental magic. However, they cannot cast light and dark magic. Plus, they have access to Grandmaster Alchemy. Sorcerers, on the other hand, can cast elemental spells at the highest. Also, they could cast either light or dark magic. However, they have weak hit points. They're great for arcane damage. Now, archers like knights and sorcerers, they cast some elemental magic. And then later on, they could do light or dark depending on where you are in the story. They're great for range attacks. Now, monks, on the other hand, are like fist fighters right here. They're great with their fists. They could use some cleric spells, but when they're only promoted to initiate. Now, thieves, on the other hand, they could steal. They could disarm traps. They could also be very perceptive. They're great for that. Later on, they cast basic elemental magic when you promote them that far. So, in all, that's it for the class system right here. Now, the next section I am going to go up ahead in this video right here is the skill system. So, I'm going to quickly go over each and every one of them. Now, I'm going to go over the skills right here you have to pick. Now, first of all, there's your magic skills right here. Elemental, fire deals with fire damage and haste. Earth deals with shielding and earth damage. Water deals with teleportation and enchanting. Air deals with wizard eye and also flight. Yeah, flight is very good in this game. Just trust me. Now, second set of magic skills are the cleric ones, which is body, heals people, mind, cures insanity, and attacks with mind magic and spirit, gives you a whole bunch of buffs, and etc. Now, I am not going to talk about light and dark. I'm going to let everybody discover that on their own. Also, the secret weapon skill. So, we're going to talk about the next set of skills up ahead are your weapon skills. First of all is axes, deal with axe damage, bows. Later on, when you develop more than that, you can shoot more than one arrow. Daggers, you could dual wield daggers later on. Mace, you could stun enemies much more, which is really good. And we're going to talk about more of the weapons right here. So let's go over those right now. Staves right here, they're great for casters to use. Spears right here, you could dual wield them later on. Actually, we'll have one spear in one hand and another weapon in another. Swords you could dual wield too. Last but not least is your unarmored attack. That's great for monks right here. Seriously, it is great for that. Now, last but not least is your armor skills right here before we get to miscellaneous. Leather means you could wear leather armor. Chain means you can wear chain armor. Plate, you can wear plate armor for the melee classes such as paladins and fighters. Shields, that means you can equip a shield in one hand, protect yourself, and dodging. That's great for AC without armor at all. Now, next up is your miscellaneous skills. Arm Master boosts your melee damage. Bodybuilding gives you more hit points. Identify items gives you better chance of identifying items that are unidentified, which is really good. And identify monsters, get to check out what's their strengths and weaknesses, and etc. So let's get to the next set of skills right here. Now next up is learning right here. Learning gives you more experience points, more points in learning, more bonus experience points you get. Disarm traps, more than that, more likely you'll disarm a trap. Meditation gives you more spell points, which is very important for arcane casters and clerics, etc. Merchant right here, more points in merchant, more discounts from shops, which is really good. Now we're going to do the last set, perception right here, more points in perception, more you can spot. Repair items, more points in that, better you can repair. Stealing, more points in that, you can steal much more often. Last but not least is alchemy. More points in alchemy, better potions you can equip. Grandmaster can make those black potions. And that's it for the skills right here. Now I'm going to give everybody a suggestion on what race and class combination for your party. Goblin Knights you definitely want. Pick bow, just trust me because you're going to use that first hand in the game. And then Human Thieves, same thing with a bow. Pick Disarm and Perception. Now Clerics right here, pick a Dwarf, and you want, I probably say Spirit and Mind. Now Elf Sorcerer right here, water and air, just trust because water and air you definitely want to develop. Water to make money and travel around. Air to fly because fly is important. So those are your setups you should do. In this next section right here, we're going to talk about the save system, controls, and the hireling system. Now the first thing we're going to talk about is when you enter the game right here is you want to make a save right here because you may never know. Danger is everywhere as soon as you get out of town. Save is easy right here. Go to the computer icon right here. Click the word save game right here. And then once we are done clicking that, what we're going to do is actually save the game. Yeah, save it and type the name where you want to type. Save often, save early. Now next up is the controls right here. It uses the arrow keys, not WASD. Left mouse click right here will close and open menus. Also, you'll do is when you use the left mouse key right here, we'll click the item right here and talk to NPCs. Right clicks to inspect usually. So let's talk about the hireling system right here. It is back from Might Magic 6. It's about the same. Now this NPC, for instance, right here is offering for us to give her 500 gold and 5% of the loot we get. Great news is, in return, we get a 5% bonus. That's a fair trade. Look for bankers like that and anybody else with the hirelings. And that's it for this section right here. Now, this next section right here I will be covering is the user interface right here. From your quest log right here to your journal, your spell book, also resting, and also your reputation, etc. So first thing we're going to look at right here is the screen right here. Big screen right there is your view. Now on the upper right is your map. And that lady right there is your hireling right here. Yeah, don't worry. You'll lose her as soon as you get off of Emerald Island. Now underneath her are your spell slots right here that you got buffed up. For instance, right here, we see the haste icon. You'll see it there. When you see the flight icon, it won't appear here. It'll appear instead like on the upper left of your screen here. This is your food right here. No food, that means you could become weakened and you become insane if you go from zone to zone. And this your money right here is very important. Now here's the one thing about death in this game. You die, you lose all your cash. You keep your items, you lose all your cash. And this right here book I just clicked on is your current quest is right here. And we're on the Emerald Islands right here. And we have to return a red potion, for instance, to a judge. And it's very simple. In order to get out of there, go to the close right here and click it. This one right here is your auto notes right here. This will tell you potion notes that you discover from mixing certain potions. That's your fountains right here you discover by sipping fountains. Please drink the fountain water because they'll open ways to teleport later on. This is your obelisk right here. You discover one that's very important. Yeah, definitely go with the obelisk because if there's some great loot if you discover them all. This is your seer notes right here you get from certain NPCs or the seer itself. Really useful. I do mean really useful. Now this next section is just miscellaneous notes right here. Just tells you anything offhand or off beat. Now last but not least, this one's very important. Your instructors. These are your trainers right here. Now the game I said before, Might Magic 7 skills have changed from 3 to 4. So If you get for an expert in a skill, you got to look for the expert trainer. And this is your map right here where you have to look. This is where you can zoom in and out. And also this is your arrows right here you can point and go to, which is really good. And I think that's it for this one. This one right here, I'll tell you real quick, that's your time. It tells your time and day, and which is really good, and your location, and what type of moon it is, and year. So it keeps you up to date on the game's calendar. This one right here is your history. So whatever history you make in this game, good or bad, guess what? It'll matter to you. So this will just keep notes, which is very neat. And this is your paper doll right here system. Now this first screen is your stats right here, including experience points. Now if there's a green right here on your experience points, you'll level up, which is really good. This also gives you resistance too. Now this next section are your skill points right here. Very important about the skills. And you definitely want 4, 7, and 10. Remember those numbers because that's expert, master, and grandmaster. Now this next section right here is really simple. I'm going to point to is your inventory system. Click an item right here. Drag your character, drop it off, and equip it. See, we're equipped our knight with some nice gear. You do that same with the other characters too. Now, next up is your awards right here I'm going to talk about. This is for like promotions or certain quests that's being done and etc. So, yeah, if you're doing promotions in this game, it'll keep track of when you did get promoted, which is really good. And that's your exit button. That's it right there. Now, next up, your spells right here. You click a spell right here once. If you double click it, you cast it, click it once, and then you set the spell. This is great for setting certain spells. I just set the torch spell for instance. Now I'm going to show everybody how to activate a spell. See the spell right here, double click it, real easy. We got wizard's eye. That means we could see people on the mini map, which is great though. This I would say discover more spells by checking out your spell book and your inventory and click on your character. Now next up is rest right here. This is where you rest. This is very important. If you have no food at all and keep on resting, you'll get weakened and insane. When insane people rest, they kill each other. And it's good times. Well, not really. And this is just your overview of your stats and etc. Also your reputation too. And in certain areas in game, when the story does change, yeah, reputation will go up and down. Last but not least, your controls you could change up, save, load, new game, return, or get out of the game. The UI is very easy to use. Don't panic at all. Just take your time learning the UI of this game. It's a wonderful game. So that's it for the UI section. Now, next up is the quest system right here. And you just got to interact with NPCs and buildings right here. It's really easy to do. Story ones will move along as they progress. So talk to the NPC for each topic. For instance, Lord Markham right here. What we're going to do is get a quest from him right now is by clicking missing contestants. When we did that, we heard the sound. That means we got a quest right here. Now, Thomas right here is asking, what do you have? If you have a certain item, when you have that, he'll actually mark that quest complete. So right now is because we got the quest from Lord Markham right here. This is where it is in the journal. So talk to every NPC you can because you may find trainers or better yet quests in the game to do. And that's it. Now, next up are the inn, shops, and of course guilds. Now, first thing we're going to do is talk about the inns. Now, real quick about the inn right here. There's one change from Might Magic 6 to Might Magic 7. It's the Arcomage minigame. That's where you play it here. Well, not on this island, but still you play it in most of the inns. This is where you rent a room, fill your packs. Also learn skills from the tavern keeper too. Keep that in mind if you're missing certain skills to learn, especially, for instance, if you didn't get perception for a rogue right here. Well, guess what? You're going to have to go to an inn and learn that from them. Also, same thing with shops learning skills, but shops right here, for instance, you could buy standard, just like your normal mundane gear. Special, for instance, gear that has magical properties on it. Display inventory. You could sell items, like for instance, we'll get rid of the spear, identify items, and repair. Very important. Only certain items from certain shops they'll allow to sell. You cannot sell weapons to an armor shop. You can sell armor to an armor shop. Now next up right here are guilds. In order to buy spells in game, you have to join a guild. And where you didn't join a guild, I'll show you why. It says you must be a member of the guild to study here. So don't worry, guilds are around Harmondale and of course Emerald Island. So when you leave Emerald Island, if you miss any of the guilds here, well, you could join them in Harmondale. So don't panic about that. If you have the cash, go join the guilds ASAP. And that's it for the shops, inns, and of course guilds. Guess what, everybody? The save exploit is back. And let me tell you, it's very easy to actually get the items you want from certain shops, such as I'd probably say the water magic shop. If you're looking for, say, enchant item and it's not there, well, guess what? Save before you enter the shop. If it's not there, load the game up. So right now, I'm showing everybody this right now. So I'm making a save right here, show you the difference of items right here. So we're going to go inside the alchemy shop right here to show you different recipes. So yeah, we're not going to do this right now, the standard. So we're going to instead go to special right here. There's a potion of pure endurance recipe to figure out speed endurance on the left right here, water resistance and body resistance. And nothing's there. So we're going to do this again right here, load the game up. This is same for other shops too. Now this time is noxious potion recipe, number 1. Flaming potion recipe and pure intellect recipe right here. It's different every time when you load the game up. So if you're looking for a certain item in a shop, I would say, well, guess what? Exploit the save system. It is there for your use and to abuse. Now next up is the alchemy skills and the basics of the skills in this section. Might Magic 6, you just mix potions and that's that. That was really easy. This game, no, you pay for it if you don't have the proper skills. Very simple. Drag the potion from your inventory, grab the reagent, and we just made a red potion because it's a red item. We just made a yellow one. So I'm going to show everybody what happens when you have 0 alchemy skills. Try and make next level potions. Because of that, we have taken damage. So you got to be careful on that, because worst things can happen to you if you mix the wrong type of potion without the proper skills and tiers for it. So now we're going to talk about the alchemy skills, what potions you could create. Red reagents plus empty bottle equals health potions to restore your health. Blue reagents plus empty bottle equals a mana potion to restore your spell points. And we're going to get to the next section right here of the no alchemy skill point potions you create. Yellow reagents plus empty potion bottle will create cure weakness, which will cure weakness in case you've been out for too long. Now gray reagents plus empty potion bottle will be catalyst. More value in the catalyst. When you mix it with the other potions, more powerful they actually become. Now for this final section right here, if you learn the alchemy skills, the basics, red potion plus blue potion equals cure poison potion, which are the purple potions. Blue plus yellow potions equals awaken to cure sleepiness. Red plus yellow potion equals cure disease, which cures diseases. There are other combinations out there, so you want to make sure you learn. Now my final advice on alchemy is very simple. More points in alchemy, more upgrade tiers, better potions you could create. Now the only one that can actually grandmaster alchemy in this game are the druids when they get their final promotions, so be careful on what you mix. Let's talk about leveling real quick right here. When you go inside your inventory right here, you see the green number of experience points. That means you have enough experience points to level up. So you're going to have to look for a trainer right here. Be warned though that trainers will only train you for a certain level before sending you off to the next area. Now for instance right here, we need 720 experience points for our characters here. More in the learning skill, less you'll need because you get that bonus experience points. You can also learn skills here. When you do level up, you do get skill points to put into. Very important to know that if you reach certain points, I say in one tier, for instance, Swords 4, look for the Expert Sword Trainer, fork over that gold to get Expert tier, and that's it for leveling. Now, combat is back. It's the same as Might Magic 6. Great news is it's the same cheese method. Now, interact with objects before you get into combat. For instance, the haste pedestal right here. Just be careful when you use haste. You'll get that debuff after it's gone. Now, what I did real quick was hit the enter key. That means we're in turn base. You always want to be in turn base. Real time, you're punishing yourself. And when you're punishing yourself, enemies will swarm you more often. In turn base, they'll slowly go towards you. Also, this game right here, you can move during turn base very slowly. So you get to abuse that system. It's the same as Might Magic 6. Just keep on using turn base right here. And it's real easy to use. Just sit back and fire. That's why I said bring bows for the skill for your knights and your thief to pick. Or anybody else could use that. And also DPS casting skills. Like for example, fire for sorcerers and mind magic I'll probably say for cleric types. And I'm going to let the demonstration go on before I get back to healing. Now, that was a demonstration of cheating combat in the game right here. If you need to retreat, go ahead, get out of turn base, and then go quickly run away. Now, here's the thing right here, because we're on the Emerald Islands right here, we interact with the wells. This well right here will restore your spell points. Now, the other well right here will restore your hit points. So, in other words, if you're fighting on the Emerald Islands for the first time, you can avoid using the inn until you get weakened status, then go to the inn to rest. And it'll save you a whole bunch of money too. Let's talk about the ore right now. Now, it's a new thing from Might Magic 6. It's ore. They're discovered in the zones in the game. Lower enemy zones right here will be weaker ores. High-end enemies here will eventually find stronger type of ores right here. So if you do want to gamble on your ore right here, you just go into buildings right here. So for instance, we're going to make a weapon right here. We're a weaker ore right here. Yeah. They're low tier. They're great if you're starting out, but later on in game, not so much. They are randomized, so do be careful on that. Also, save scum too, in order to get the right type of items you do want. And that's it for the ore section of this video. Here are the skill tiers right here. Normal's 1 point. When you reach 4 point, look for expert trainer. Now, when you're expert and reach 7 points in a skill, look for a master trainer. When you're master skill, when you reach 10, look for a grandmaster trainer. Focus on 1 and 2 skills. That's it for this section. The next section are barrels and cauldrons right here. Whatever character you select right here to drink the barrel or cauldron will get the appropriate stats. They increase or appropriate resistance right here. Now the bad news is it's empty. And you know what? We're going to go over what they do right now. So here is the lowdown. Now for instance right here, red barrels equal might, orange equals intellect, blue equals personality, green equals endurance here. Now, yellow equals accuracy, purple equals speed, and white equals luck. Last but not least are the cauldrons right here. Steaming cauldrons equals fire resistance, frosty cauldrons equals water resistance. The last 2 cauldrons are shocking cauldrons equals air resistance, and dirty cauldrons equals earth resistance. And that's it for the cauldrons and barrels. What do they actually do contain? My final tips and advice on cauldrons and barrels: make sure you pick the right characters for them. You do not want an orange barrel for a knight or a red barrel for a sorcerer. Instead, pick their proper stats and the proper barrels. Also with cauldrons resistance, pick which one you want to pick for being more resistant to spells and elements. Now, there is a quest in Harmondale right here to find someone's brother in the White Cliff Caves right here. Once you do find the brother right here, you have access to Arcomage, which are at the end right here. Simply go in right here, hit play Arcomage, and that's it. Later on, there's a side quest for that, but we'll get to the rules of this game right here. There are 3 ways to win and lose. You have the most resource in one category underneath the player name right here. Your tower reaches the top. Your opponent's tower gets destroyed from, say, 15 to 0. You lose when your opponent gets the resource first under their name in one category. Their tower reaches to the top, or your tower, for instance, from 17 to 0. Those are the rules right there, and it's a very fun mini game to do. It's like it takes a break. There's also a nice quest involved in it too, so you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this play on for a bit. I'll return after. And that is how you win the Arcomage game right here. Very easy, very simple to do. If you want to screw around or if you're getting stuck in a certain situation, go to it and play some Arcomage. It's a very fun game to take a break in. Let's briefly go over the Emerald Islands right here and actually how to survive it. So when you get off the boat right here, here's the first chest you should check out. Great news is it's not trapped at all because you're in a tutorial area. You should have some gold pieces, a nice decent bow right here for your thieves and knights, anybody else who uses a bow, some random items, and more. My advice about this island right here is very simple. Take your time through it. Check out the guilds. Make sure you get membership in that. Also do read the quest logs right here, tell you what to do. Abuse the pause system right here, or I should say turn-based, so this way will help you out. Also, there's a beginner dungeon here, and if you go inside the dragon's cave, make sure you grab a certain item or something like that and get out of there. Do not fight the dragon unless you're an expert. Other than that, enjoy this new player area right here and just explore, have some fun. There's also a rumor of 1,000 pieces of gold if you interact with a certain well right here. However, that is once a month. And that's my hints and tips about the Emerald Islands. So let's get to the next section. Let's talk about the light and dark in this game right here. Now in Might Magic 6 you could learn both light and dark magic right here. Not so much in 7 because you have to make a story quest choice right here. And here's my advice, and I'm going to give everybody good advice on this. Make a save before you actually do make the choice, because once you make that choice the game changes drastically. So if you go on one path, the other path will be closed, so don't panic and just make that save right here when you get to that point, and use this spelling right here as a good indicator. And that's it for the light and dark. Here's my final advice. Advice number 1 for you sorcerers out there, druids, etc. Rush towards Grandmaster Water and Grandmaster Air because those spells are seriously useful. Also try to get Grandmaster Earth right here if you don't have a thief, because telekinesis at a chest will actually trigger a trap from a far distance. Number 2 right here for other skills For instance, pick one weapon skill you want to focus on. For instance, if you want to be a swordsman, focus on that first. Or swords and spears if you're a knight. Another advice is if you have a rogue in your party right here, focus on perception, disarm, trap, grandmaster, so you can disable all those traps and look out for danger. Use turn-based over real time because it make the game much easier for you. Also, to make some serious scratch and bank right here, my advice is look for certain mundane items and then use enchant item right here and then sell to the merchant. This way you make a whole lot of money. Also know where your trainers are at. They don't have auto mapping in this game right here. You have to write that down or check your notes for that. Do many quests as you possibly can. Also on the Emerald Islands there's a quest you want to avoid because if you allow this guy to get a certain item from you, he'll make you do an evil deed, and if you don't want to do it, well, your castle town will get attacked. And also play some Arcomage because from time to time it's great to do that. My final advice is save and explore. Explore much as you can for this game right here because you may never know. Well, this is it for my Don't Panic Might Magic 7 for Blood and Honor for new players. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day or night.